G'day there, podcaster. Ben here, giving you a heads up on what's coming on this podcast, what's coming up in this podcast, I should say. Sorry, I'm a little bit muddled up because, yes, we do have Matt Barr on this podcast. The world's biggest peen is owned by him, and we have quite an interesting chat with the man. Also, we get some very silly/stupid names on the show, and we get a gnarly Sports Day story. Enjoy.
Live across Australia. This is Ben, Liam and Belle's
Late Drive on Nova.
You've probably all seen the footage of the athlete going around the high jump, tries to clear it, and then he catches himself. His penis on the bar knocks it off. And that got us thinking, because that one looked big. Like, how big can they get? And a bit of a content warning on this, but we're about to speak to a man from the UK who has the biggest peen in the entire world.
Mm-hmm.
Like, medically verified. It's a whopper. It's bigger. Well, it's not a whopper.
Would you say it's for more of a Subway?
Yeah, it's a foot. Yeah, it's actually bigger than a Subway
It's
footlong.
2 footlongs. Just think about that.
Is it 2 footlongs?
Well, yeah, isn't
No,
it?
because a foot long is 12
sorry,
inches.
I thought a footlong was 6.
Yeah.
It's 2 6 inches.
Yeah. It's not an anaconda, but I mean, it is.
It's a footlong.
It's big. And this gentleman has been kind enough to give us some of his time this evening. Matt Barr is his name. He joins us now. Matt, is having a penis that big a good thing or a bad thing?
That is a very difficult question. It's a impactful thing, I think is the better way to put it. It has its pros, it has its cons. It depends on the partner, it depends on the situation.
What's the biggest con?
I mean, it's always there. Most men, you're not using your penis most of the time, so you can just tuck it away and not think about it. Whereas my situation, it's kind of there.
Yeah. Can I ask, Matt, when did you first realise it was abnormally large?
Gym showers, unsurprisingly. I think that's kind of certainly men of my age before the internet, that was definitely kind of where he sort of saw where you stood in the hierarchy.
So, Matt, what is your official size then? Is it 12 inches?
So, I mean, when you say, like say 12, it's more than 12 now. It is growing. So it's
growing
Still?
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
What is it sitting at?
In March, it was measuring 31 centimetres, which is a bit over 12. And then the last one was in July, and that was 36 centimetres. But that is slightly different measuring, but still a couple of centimetres either way.
I'm not saying this in a smart-ass way, but if you were to get an erection, do you get lightheaded from all the blood going on?
Yeah, no, that's always been the case. It's a lot of blood, and it takes a while, obviously, just to to travel.
Oh man! And so, you talk about gym showers. Like, surely that impacts sport. Like, if you were playing football or something like that, like it would be flopping around everywhere, right?
Yeah, luckily I'm not very athletic, so that's not much of an issue. So I've got like a little home treadmill and some weights and stuff, so I can stay somewhat fit. But yeah, I think the regular gym situation it's hard to stay discreet.
So, Matt, what about your dating life? Do you tell someone about this thing before you get hot and heavy, or...?
You kind of have to, I think, realistically. I mean, in the past I have done it without telling them, but that is a lot to spring on someone, no pun intended, in terms of what to expect there. Like, obviously, I'm not, sharing around pics and stuff like at the start. I'm trying to build a rapport, but there's a certain point if things are getting to that, hot and heavy, as it were, you kind of have to give some kind of warning. Because, you don't want to have to run out screaming.
Do people, if you have to break it to them, like, I don't know how to say this, but I've got a massive hog. Are they like, yeah, right?
I don't think I use that kind of phrasing.
Okay.
When I have met someone on Tinder or whatever, I try and bring it up as subtly as possible. But it's just not always easy. But, you have to do it kind of gradually, like bring up the topic. Again, when things get to that level, obviously.
Matt, is there a world that you would consider getting an operation or changing it?
Yeah, I've thought about it. So, I mean, certainly if it keeps growing to this extent, or, then I'm going to have to. So there is reduction surgery does exist. It's extremely rare. It's very expensive as well. So in the cost of living crisis, it's probably one of the lower priority things to do. But yeah, 100%.
Do you know where you stand in the global pecking? Like, do you know, like, I mean, obviously that you're the biggest in Britain. That's a big country. A lot of people there. Do you know where you are in the world?
Yeah, so it is the world's largest medically verified penis.
Oh, geez.
Officially, in terms of, there's actually been in journals and stuff. And there's one guy who is, it's like 19 inches. But it's mostly skin. Not as big as him, but in terms of functional side, certainly, yeah.
Now, Matt, can you tell us about the museum you're working with?
It's the Penis Museum in Iceland.
Right.
I've got a little plaque up there right now dedicated to me.
Right.
And we're trying to give a model, so we're hopefully going to get a life-size model of it in there soon. So anyone traveling in Iceland, we have to see it in person.
I mean, there's a penis museum? Oh, my God.
Google it, Iceland Philological Museum.
So does that mean they have to make a cast of your penis?
Yes.
Right, and it just flaccid?
Oh, no, it'll be fully...
Yeah, right.
You don't really show on the internet, but, for a museum, it's like, go on. It's a bit honor.
What a fascinating conversation we just had on the show with Matt Barr, fitting name. He officially has the world's largest penis.
It's huge.
It's to his knees. If you haven't already, Google it.
Yeah. Yeah, Google it if you haven't. Obviously, make sure you're the appropriate age.
Mm-hmm.
The whole conversation was fascinating, but there was one part in there that stood out for me. We were saying if you take someone home that you've met out and about, do you warn them about it beforehand or do you surprise them with it? And this is what he said.
In the past, I have done it without telling them, but that is a lot to spring on someone, no pun intended. You kind of have to give some kind of warning because, you don't want to have to run out screaming.
Could you imagine?
I mean, if I were him, I would just leave a Ripley's Believe It or Not book sort of just open. Be like, oh, look over there. Who's that
like
guy?
a coffee table book.
Yeah. Maybe one that folds out.
That's the thing, because it's at the size where it is inconvenient.
Mm-hmm.
It's too
definitely.
big. So if you did go home with him, you'd be like, well, what am I supposed to do with that?
13, 24, 10. What did they surprise you with in the bedroom? Now, it doesn't just have to be what he had. It could be anything. Use your imagination. Did you come home with somebody and there was something in their bedroom that you weren't expecting?
You're just going, wow. Okay, I did not see that coming. Anonymous in Brizzy, tell us what happened.
Hello. So I was dating my friend's young uncle for a little bit. Had a few nice casual dates. Eventually got a hotel room.
Yep.
In the middle of a sesh, asked me to roar like a lion and claw him. I don't know why. He was very hot, so I went along with this. And, became a regular lion sesh for a little while after until I moved away.
Easy. So he made you roar like a lion.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough. And did you say my friend's young uncle?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I
We
get it.
skipped past that.
Yeah. No, I was just seeing this young uncle.
Didn't see that coming.
Anonymous, thank you very much for getting involved. We're going to give you a $50 Uber Eats voucher.
Caleb, what happened?
So I went on a few dates with this older woman. I'm quite young. I'm only 24, but this woman was well into her 40s. And we got home, got back into her bedroom, and there was a bunch of porcelain dolls all over her entire room, and I freaked out.
That's creepy for sure.
Yeah, no, porcelain dolls, no good.
At any age.
No,
I mean, yes.
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Josh in Brizzy, what did they surprise you with in the bedroom?
Mate, so I took home a 38-year-old. I'm 21, so I thought, why not give her a go? She had a bed on the floor, so she had a swinging set as well as some handcuffs. It was a bit of a shock. Yeah, let me
Did you try the swing out, Josh?
no, not particularly. I didn't want to try it, but I gave it a go once, so it
Oh, yeah? How was it?
was quite interesting, to be honest.
We've just had a lot of young MILF hunters on tonight so far. Do you fall into that category as well, Anonymous?
Yes, I do. I was seeing a guy and we hadn't been to his house yet. And my first time that I went, if you can imagine the biggest framed image above a bed, but it was him and his mother.
Oh!
What?
Okay.
Just arm around each other, sort of family portrait type thing, or?
It was a family portrait, but it was just him and his mum.
That's
So I had
so
to-
weird.
Hey, was she
had to-
alive?
Yeah, she was alive.
right.
Her name was Margaret, and
Okay.
we just had to look at her the whole time. It was awful.
Oh, nice one.
Did you mention anything to them about it?
I think I just said wow, and I just had to look away.
Yeah.
Margaret didn't.
So the whole damn thing. Eva in Melbourne, what happened to you?
So there was a few surprises. This is a bit of a funny one. It reminded me of. So I was 20 at the time, and this guy would have been in his mid-20s. And the first surprise was he had a really massive tattoo of a girl's name on his forearm, and I was like, oh, God, it's probably an ex. It was his child. So that was the first surprise.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But then we go over to his house, I'm getting to know him, and he first shows me all these crystals, sage, gives me a tarot reading, and I'm like, cool, super spiritual.
Yeah.
You do you. And then there's a Naruto shrine, like the anime Naruto.
Yeah.
A whole shrine with, katanas, everything you can imagine. And the duality of this man, I couldn't go back. I couldn't.
Yeah, he did a bit of it all. It's almost like he loved Naruto and he had a room full of katanas and he's like, he wasn't having much luck with the ladies. He's like, look, they love star signs and that sort of crap. I'll just put some sage around and that'll lure them in and then I can win them over. Anonymous in Brizzy, what did they surprise you with in the bedroom?
So I started dating somebody who was a private investigator, and we got to know each other a bit, and things got further. And back in the bedroom, I was surprised to find quite the opposite to what you guys originally were interviewing, and he had a micro penis.
Oh, right.
Oh,
Yes.
can you describe what that is?
So essentially, it's just like a very small scale of a penis. There's not a lot to it.
So are we talking like a cashew or a bit bigger than a cashew?
Or like a thumb?
like smaller than a thumb.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like half a
Like
thumb?
it was
Half a thumb?
Yeah, like the width of it and everything is
And
it's
Anonymous,
very
obviously,
tiny.
that is their situation, and no one here is laughing at that. But what did
absolutely
you
not.
do in that instance?
I wanted to make them feel secure, but I could. There was a lot of insecurity, unfortunately, based around that. And even though you try, it's just a bit difficult unless they're going to be able to have open minds about certain things. And I was okay with it. It happens. Everybody's different.
Yeah, that's it. And so they didn't give you any forewarning though, like about the.
No, I was not forewarned.
It
But
seems like something that you probably should, even if it is
You
embarrassing.
reckon, though? Could you imagine if you're out, somewhere and having a nice dinner and they go, so just so you know, I've got a micro penis.
Yeah, but
Pass the
it's
salt.
probably not going to help you.
I would say that's the equivalent of, like, say you're in the exact same, you got the hetero couple, and if the girl said, I can't have sex, I can't, then I feel like you should give that heads up too.
Yeah, I do. I get it. It's a hard, like, when do you drop it? It's a good point. Like, before or after the entree.
Yeah.
So, put your hand out for us. See that thumb? Half that? That's my penis
That's not
size.
how you do it.
A lot of pressure on sports day. I'm a little bit triggered at the moment, Ben and Belle, from watching the games. We've all seen the French pole vaulter footage. We've talked about penises a bit tonight, but yeah, that knocked the pole off and he lost his medal. Mm-hmm. It would have been embarrassing, and I get it. Because I remember in sports day, I think I was in year 3, I had this theory that I would run faster if I was running to the toilet. Like if I was, really busting. Just, how kids are sometimes like, if I wear red shoes, like I run faster, that sort of thing.
Yep.
So before the big cross-country race, I decided not to go to the toilet the night before, and I held on throughout the night and like all that morning. I was just busting.
And you go to the toilet
And
like 20
I
times
do.
a day.
I wee a lot. And what ended up happening is just before the gun went off, I weed myself on the start line. Like it was all just a bit much for me. Like I was the anticipation of it. So I weed myself in front of the whole school. And then I was like running in the race, and there was like in the cross country for the older kids, there was like they dug the sandpit out and had like water in it. So when I was like halfway through the race with like wee running down my legs, I took a hard right to the thing and jumped into and all the teachers were angry at me because they thought I was doing it for attention, but I was really just trying to
Here comes class clown Liam
I was
again.
trying to wash the wee off my legs.
Little Liam.
Yeah, well.
He finally forgot that nickname, Belle.
Yeah. I'm like, I think I've heard that before. That clicked. Something clicked there when you said that.
Sorry.
Rosemary in Adelaide, you've given us a buzz. What happened on Sports Day?
Hi, guys. Well, it was really tragic, actually. I was in primary school and I had to do the high jump as well. So I hated high jump, didn't want to do it. Anyway, the teacher said you have to do it. And funny enough, I did have to go to the bathroom beforehand. But they said, no, once you've done your high jump, then you can go. No worries, my turn. My turn came along, ran, jumped over, literally did a somersault, hit the pole down, did a somersault, landed on my bum, twisted my neck and broke my leg.
Oh, God, I thought you were just going to wee yourself like me. Yeah, I did that. I didn't see that coming.
And then you wee just...
No, exactly. I hadn't finished. And then I was busting going to the toilet. I was in pain. I had to wait for the ambulance, couldn't move. And yeah, I pretty much did that.
Yeah, okay.
Sandy in Brizzy, what happened at your sports day?
So many moons ago, our parents used to run a race at our sports day, and this was in the sort of late 70s, showing my age a little bit. And my friend's mum and my mum were in this race running together, and his mum was wearing a boot suit, and she's flying down the field in the race, and the boot suit is slowly slipping down, and the next thing you know, we've got full boobies flying backwards and forwards across the field in front of all the primary school students.
Whoa.
And what a day. What a day for the Year 7 boys, you know what I'm saying? It's something you'd never forget. Gianna and Brizzy, what happened to you?
I was running the 100 metres and I actually broke my knee and had to get a full knee reconstruction.
Oh, man. How'd you manage that?
The muscle over my knee snapped while I was running and pulled out a piece of bone and dislocated.
Was it just you had a bad knee and it went, or was there a pothole? What happened?
No, I have no idea. It just felt like a stick went through my leg.
No. No good for someone young as well. That's when you're supposed to be able to just run 100 metres and just have the drop of the hat, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I get it now, but wow. Carly, what happened on sports day?
Well, at my school, one of the gazebos actually wasn't latched properly, and it was a really windy day, and it went flying across the sports field.
A gazebo?
Yeah.
So did it hit people?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
It was just tumbling across the oval.
Just running, and like the most running that went on that day was to chase after.
Oh,
Yeah.
totally.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Running for it and away from it.
Teachers, students, like people trying to grab it, people defending themselves. It was a nice.
They're putting their fists up.
Get behind me! I'll take the brunt of this gazebo. Anon, what about you? What happened on your sports day?
Well, it wasn't sports day, that's just local cricket. Just never trust a fart.
Oh, okay.
Fielding second slip, and just before tea break, thought I'd let one go before.
Yeah.
And it just, a bit more than that came out, I guess.
Okay. Not in the bloody cricket whites, Anon. No good. Not the outfit for that. I love how he said what's happened on sports day, and Anon was like, yeah, close enough. I shat myself playing cricket. I'll tell the nation about that.
Kelly in Adelaide, good evening. Now, we've been told that something gruesome happened between you and a javelin. What is it?
Got hit in the head with a javelin and lost my eye.
Just back it up,
That's
Kelly.
a whole lot of information, Kelly.
Oh, my God. So can you tell us when and how this happened? And are you okay now?
Yeah, I'm okay. It was like 30 years ago. I was visiting my future school, my future high school, and on sports day, and I got hit in the head with the javelin.
Oh, my God. Kelly, what did that feel like?
It was like a softball, or just like I was near the discus and the shot put, and it was just like that image of something solid hit me in the head.
Did it hit your head or did it hit your actual eye?
Right in the middle of my forehead, like between the eyes, and then went through on an angle, obviously, split the eyeball 1 millimetre from the brain. So, the javelin went in there good, but, yeah.
So, this could have killed you. Surely you...
It could have killed me.
You were close to death.
Yes, or like slight brain damage. I don't know.
Yeah, and you're just saying this like it's a very casual thing, like you've just tripped and sprained your ankle.
We've just heard about it, but you've come to terms with it.
30 years. It was a long time ago, Kelly.
many pub stories, like it's been part of my life for 30 years.
So, if you don't mind me asking now, with the eye, is it a prosthetic or is it a glass eye?
Yeah, it's an amazing glass eye that I get made here in Adelaide. It's the guy is an artist, Peter Knowles. He does an amazing job. So.
Is it in there permanently or can you take it out?
No, I take it out all the time.
Do you ever do like party tricks with it?
I used to. I'm a little bit
Do you know someone with a stupid name? There is a story doing the rounds online at the moment of a mum in the UK who named her daughter Khaleesi.
The mother of dragons. What's a strong name? I mean, Daenerys Stormborn, House of Targaryen. She, destroyed the Red Keep. Almost ruled the realm in its entirety.
This mum's clearly a fan of Game of Thrones. She loves Khaleesi. The story isn't that she has named her daughter that. It's now, the daughter's grown up, she's 6 years old now, and she's applied to get a passport for her daughter. It got denied, and they said, well, nah, because that name is actually copyrighted by Warner Brothers. So we can't give you a passport. And she's like, but I got the birth certificate, so why can't I get the passport?
Can I bring my other children, Jon Snow the bastard?
They've now said, sorry, okay, it's all good. You can have your daughter's name as Khaleesi.
Yeah.
And she's got no passport. So, I mean, you're going to have those bridges to cross if you call your daughter Khaleesi. That girl is now set up. That's the rest of her life. 13 24 10. Do you know someone with a stupid name?
Pete in Perth. Go for it.
Back in high school, this is all in the same year, we had a Jordan Gooch, Raymond Ball, and Jared Butt. We had the trifecta.
The Butt brothers. Gooch, Ball, and Butt, was it? Wow.
Pete, that's amazing. You've got yourself a $50 Uber Eats voucher.
Emily in Brizzy, who do you know?
I had a customer come through actually today, and their name was Havi Mabubi.
Havi Mabubi.
Yep, Mabubi.
I like that name. It's a fun name. It is a fun name.
Yeah, but we can't go laughing at everyone's
It feels,
names.
that feels like a cultural one.
It does,
could be
yeah.
called Havi Mabubi might be a really normal name.
For me, what got me was just Emily the second time said, Mabubi.
Mabubi. Mabubi. Ben, what about you? You know some of the stupid name?
Yeah, my priest in primary school's last name was Head, and his name was Father Richard, so he's calling by his back Father Dickhead.
Father Dickhead. Yep.
That does suck.
Oh, man. Especially, out of school. That it's just change your name. Man.
Yeah,
just
but
change.
And if your last name is Head, there's one name you can't call your son.
Yeah,
and it's Richard.
Richard. Yeah,
Could you imagine if my son got in trouble at school for saying that? I would just laugh. I couldn't be mad about that.
Isabel has just dropped off. No, she's back. Someone with a stupid name.
Yes, I went to school with someone with the last name Hornblower.
That's fun. That is fun. It's people talk about the origins. Mine were farmers. I'm assuming that person comes from a long line of hornblowers. Because you know what I mean. There's sometimes people that have that last
blacksmith.
Can we change it from stupid name to funny name? Do you know someone with a funny name?
Well, yeah, it's the same thing.
Or
isn't it?
silly. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like stupid's feels like derogatory.
Yeah.
Whereas funny or silly is a bit more friendly.
All right. Keone, do you know someone with a funny/silly name?
I do. I still think my friend named themselves after a car is after a skyline is ridiculous.
Hang on, so what's the name?
Skyline.
Okay. No, that is a stupid name. So someone called their kid Skyline.
My friend renamed themselves after their favourite car.
Do you mean actually changed it, officially at birth, deaths, and marriages, changed their name to Skyline?
Yes.
Skyline.
That is unbelievable. Thank you for sharing.
Sarah in Brizzy, who do you know?
So many, many years ago, I used to go to school with a guy and his surname was Cockhead.
Oh, really? How was it spelled?
As it sounds, Cockhead, and his first name was Kez, Kes.
Ken Cockhead or Kez Cockhead?
Hez Cockhead.
Yeah, brutal for him if he's listening. I
We
suppose
didn't need a full name.
Well, yeah, and then that's the thing. I think he would probably say, no, it's Cohead. You know, sometimes they say, yeah, it's like Coburn.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's Cockburn. You know what I mean? Like, we're all reading the same thing here. Hugh in Sydney, you know someone with a silly name?
Hey, Ben, how are you? Yeah, when I went to school in...
So I'm just going to jump in there, Hugh. Sorry. That was Liam. But that's okay. That's all right. People mistake us all the time.
So sorry.
No, you're all good, mate.
So I went to school and we had a new kid in year 9 and the teacher pronounced it as Gagan Deep. It's a Punjabi name, Gagan Deep Singh, and then everyone started laughing.
Yeah.
And she had a smile on her face as well. So I had to Google it to find out what was it. And there is a real name called Gagan Deep Singh. So Gagan Deep. So
I'm loving it. I've definitely heard that name before.
That's a fairly common name.
Di. Do you know someone with a silly name?
Oh, hello.
Hey, Di, go for it.
Hi. I've been told by your producers I'm not actually allowed to say the name.
Oh, okay.
But many years ago when I was a postie, I used to deliver mail to the family and their surname was spelt Kuntz.
That'll do it. I think mushroom risotto.
I reckon fish fingers.
Bangers and mash.
Winner, pick their dinner.
Something just feels right about this one. Ashley in Melbourne, we're about to play the toughest game in radio. We're going to call a random Australian. You're going to try and pick what they're having for dinner. If you can pick it, we're going to pay for yours. What do you think they're going to have?
Monday night, relatively easy, spaghetti bolognese.
Spag Bol. Love it.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's see how we go.
Hello?
Oh, hello. What are you having for dinner tonight?
Who's this?
Oh, sorry, I should have said that. It's Liam from Nova.
I think I was going to have a toasted sandwich.
Oh, no! We were hoping you were going to be eating Spag Bol. Oh, unfortunately, Ashley in Melbourne guessed that. She guessed wrong. That means no one's getting dinner.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. But you have a great night.
All right, you too.
Bye. Sorry, Ashley, we didn't get the W.
No worries, thank you.
Hey, out of interest, what are you having for dinner tonight?
Actually, I'm having beef stroganoff.
Wow, there you go. Also would have been a good guess.
For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcasts.com.au.